In this video, I want to talk about a paper that was just published in the Journal of Qualitative Inquiry. The paper is titled, "We Reject the Use of Generative Artificial Intelligence for Reflexive Qualitative Research." It was signed by 419 qualitative researchers from 32 countries. And two of the people who signed it are Virginia Braun and Victoria Clarke, the same Braun and Clarke whose 6-step framework I use in almost every tutorial on this channel. So, if you've ever opened ChatGPT and pasted in your interview transcript asking it to give you some themes, this video is for you. I want to go through what this paper actually says in plain language and then tell you what I think it means for your dissertation. My name is Bernard Mugo. I like to refer to myself simply as an academic. In the past 3.5 years, I've helped more than 200 PhD students analyze qualitative data and complete their thesis or dissertations. So this is not just an academic debate for me, it actually affects how I do my work and how I advise my clients. So let's get into it. The paper gives 3 main reasons why they reject generative AI for reflexive thematic analysis. Let's go through each one of them. The first reason is that Gen AI or generative AI cannot actually make meaning. The researchers explain that tools like ChatGPT are what they call simulated intelligence. That means the tool is predicting the next likely word based on patterns it has seen before. It doesn't understand your transcript. It doesn't understand your participant. So if you paste your transcript into ChatGPT and ask for themes, it will give you something back. And it might even look organized and convincing. But the researchers say that this is just a simulation of the process. It's not real analysis. This is because reflexive thematic analysis, by definition, requires meaning making by a human researcher. The authors actually compare this to content analysis, which is just counting how many times certain words appear. That kind of work can be automated and can be done by generative AI because it doesn't require interpretation. But reflexive thematic analysis is different. It requires you to sit with the data, notice your own assumptions, and build an interpretation that comes from your position as a researcher. That's the part that AI cannot do. Let me interrupt this video for a minute and pose this question to you. Are you overwhelmed by qualitative data analysis? I've got you covered with 2 specialized services tailored just for you. But before I tell you of my services, let me start by informing you that I have an average 5-star rating from previous clients that I've worked with both in the done for you and the consulting service. Now, here are the 2 services I provide to help you in analyzing your qualitative data. Number 1, the done for you qualitative data analysis service. In this service, I handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on the bigger picture. My service includes meticulous manual coding, where I code every word carefully for meaningful insights, theme development, where I identify patterns that matter the most, data visualization, where I produce stunning visuals that tell your data story, writing the findings report, where I produce content that's ready to use for the 4th chapter of your thesis or dissertation, which is the findings section. And I also provide a walkthrough video recording, which is a step-by-step explanation of how I analyzed your data using NVivo. The second service that I offer is the one-on-one NVivo consulting. In this service, we hop on a video call via Microsoft Teams or Zoom, and in just a few hours, I'll help you become a pro with NVivo. So whether you are a beginner or looking to refine your qualitative data analysis skills, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. So don't wait, contact me today. My details in the description and in the pinned comment. The second reason is that reflexive qualitative research is meant to be a human practice. The paper points out that this kind of research is done by humans, about humans and for humans. Some researchers have even suggested that it's fine to use AI as long as a human reviews the output afterward. This is usually called human in the loop. But the authors of this paper warn that when AI gives you an output, you naturally become more likely to trust it and less likely to question it. Even if your plan is to use it to get you started, your judgment is already being shaped by what AI gave you before. It's affecting your interpretation. So even before you begin the data, the AI has started influencing you. This is actually the part of the paper that I think is most important for you to understand. The researchers don't say, be careful with AI. They say AI is inappropriate in all phases of reflexive thematic analysis, including the very first step, which is initial coding. Not just the final write-up, not just generating themes. Even the first time you sit with your transcript and start coding, they say that step should not involve AI. Now, if you just finish your interviews and you're staring at NVivo with no idea what to click first, I put together a free NVivo quick start guide that walks you through the first 5 steps, including project setup, importing transcripts, and making your first codes. It's completely free, link in the description. The third reason in the paper is about ethics. And this is the part that most students have never heard before. The researchers point out that running these AI models requires massive data centers which use enormous amount of energy and even resources like water, and eventually contribute to environmental harm. They also point out that there are workers, many of them in the global south, which is where I'm based, who are paid very little to review and filter disturbing content so that these AI tools can be safe to use. The researchers are saying that if you care about ethics in your research, this is part of the conversation too, not just whether your codes are accurate. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for you and your dissertation. If you are doing reflexive thematic analysis using Braun Clarke's 6-step framework, like I show in different videos involving NVivo, MAXQDA, and even ATLAS.ti, this paper is telling you to keep AI out of all the 6 steps highlighted by Braun Clarke. This includes the initial coding step. However, AI is still fine to use for things like transcription and fixing your grammar, or even organizing your references. Those are not meaning-making tasks. So if your university or your supervisor asks whether you used AI anywhere in your analysis and your honest answer is just to get started, understand that this paper is specifically naming that as a problem, not an exemption. Now, I know some of you are watching this thinking, I genuinely don't have time to manually code 15 or 20 transcripts by hand. I understand that completely because that's the exact problem that most of my clients come to me with. This is why I offer done for you qualitative data analysis service, where I do the manual coding myself, develop themes, create visuals, and write the findings report. This helps so that your methodology will actually match what you write in your chapter. If you would rather learn to do it yourself, I also offer one-on-one consulting where I walk you through the whole process. My details are in the description and in a pinned comment. If you want to actually see how to properly code your interviews manually, I have full tutorials on NVivo, MAXQDA, and ATLAS.ti on this channel following the Braun Clarke 6-step framework. I'll link one in the description so that you can go watch it next.